Okay, hello. Hello. Okay, I was actually just looking while scrolling to Facebook like everybody else is doing. And I happened to, stumble on this picture or drawing, whatever they want to call it, and stuff like that. And then I start looking at it, and then I'm to myself, thinking to myself, basically, where people come to basically beginning to think this is normal. But at the end of the day, what I can tell from this picture is that this character is desperately looking for attention. Okay? So this character is looking for something to make her feel good about herself, something that she need validations from someone else to tell her she's pretty, she look nice, and all that. I mean, I know it is just a drawing, but this is a drawing of reality because a lot of people are actually going through stuff like this. And a lot of people need other people validations based on what's going on in their life, such as how many people like my picture today, how many people comment under my photos and stuff like that. But the first thing that we gonna look at in this picture is the fact that she is half naked. Okay, and if you look at the picture behind her on the wall, it's all about her body. So the first things that I like to say about that is that she look young, but at the same time, this body is not gonna stay the same forever. We are human being, and we get older, and our face beginning to get wrinkled. It's the process of life. We don't get to stay young forever. It's just the way life is. But the first thing that I would like to say is that why how did it get to a point where this character, like many other, have no self-respect for their own self? No self-respect to a point where you need people to validate certain things that you do in life and what make you feel good about yourself, and all of that is just to please other people. Like, it's like a drug. Like, you are addicted to it. You need that validation, you need that substance to continue to live. But the long run is a dead end. It's a dead end because it's not gonna get you anywhere. Because if we're looking at the hands that actually feeding her ego, those people don't care about her. They don't know her. They simply look at her as a sex object, as something they want to use whenever they want to, and then go on about their life. But my question is, what is going on inside her mind? What is going on inside her mind? What did she go through? And what is going on inside her mind that make her feel like she need other people? She need that drug. She need that like. She need that heart. She need that thumbs up from people. And the crazy thing is, the more they do it, the more people give it to them, the more they feel like they want to do it, which is crazy. Which is crazy to me, because the reality is there are a lot of people that are like that. There are a lot of people that are like that who feel like, hey, this is the internet and this is what I do, and you have all eyes on you. But what are you doing for yourself? What are you building for yourself? because the long run is that they don't respect you. They don't respect you. You got a fine ass. Yes, you got a fine ass, and they want to hate that. That's all that is to it. And once they tap it, that's it. The thrill is gone. The thrill is gone from the second they tap it. And then this character would feel like she needs to keep on doing this in order to get validated, to make people feel like she's special. But the hard truth is, nobody give a shit. Nobody give actually a shit. Most men just want to bang that and then move on with their life. They can always say, yeah, I banged that. I banged that when she was at her prime. I banged that when she was doing good. But the reality is, do they want to wife this? Most likely not. I mean, you can always find a simp to do it, because he can't get any. So if he can get some of that, sure. But most of those simp are usually guys who are later on in their life, and when she can no longer find somebody with value who would accept her with her past. And I'm gonna be real with you. Most of the time, they can find a simp to come around and take care of that. But that's the reality of the world we live in. But another way of looking at it too as well is that if they don't do that, some guys never get to see anything. And there are a lot of guys that actually never get, years pass and they never get anything. That's the sad reality. So they fell into this thirsty trap where they feel like they always have to validate something that they can't get. And most women like that, reality don't hate until later on. Reality don't hate until probably until they're still single and 40 and 3-4 kids. And then at this point on their life, what they're looking for is a stepfather to their children, not a man. Because a real man do not validate stuff like that. Don't get me wrong. If he had the chance to bang it, he gonna bang it and move on. But he's not gonna waste his time turning her into a housewife, because a man does not want a woman with a past like this. I know for a fact I would not want a woman with a past like this, but if you know you can bang it, you bang it and then move forward. And then all of that add on to her trauma. I don't know what actually get her to where she's at right now, but there is an old saying that a man release just to release, but when a female sleep with a guy, she get emotionally attached. But guys don't get emotionally attached. And the more that she sleep with, the less likely it is for her to find a good man. But she can always find a simp, depending on how good she look at a certain age, or depending on when she decided to lock a man down. Not a real man, a simp down, because simp will always be available and line up. But it is what it is. It is sad to actually see this in the real world. Some people who feel like their body is actually, that's all they gotta bring. There's always that debate, what do you bring to the table? Okay, what do you bring to the table? I don't know her past, I don't know her history, but what does she bring to the table? Just looking at this picture alone, she gonna tell you she bring her body. Okay, the body get old over time. Okay, and like I said, a lot of men, they just want to hate it and quit it. So now that they hate it already, they already tapped that already. Now what? What do you actually bring? But it's sad that to see this in the real world, a lot of women think that, oh, I got a big ass and that's all that I need. I got big titties, that's all that I need. I got a pretty face, that's all that I need. But the reality, that big ass, that big titties, that pretty face, all they bring you is a couple children and single. A couple children and being a single mom. But hey, at the end of the day, it's your responsibility. The decision that you make come back around. The choices that you make come back around, and same thing apply for the men, and same thing apply for the women. Just like if a man chooses to wife her, have 2, 3 kids with her, now his ass is stuck with that. His ass pretty much he's stuck in there for the next 18 years. And she's stuck with him too for the next 18 years. Now you're gonna have that toxic relationship with children in it, and children observing that toxic. But that's crazy, huh? That's crazy. And in the real world, that's that's an everyday thing. But life goes on, right? At the end of the day, responsible. A man have to be responsible for whatever he stick his dick in, and a woman have to be responsible for whoever she let on top of her. But the women carry the evidence. The women carry the evidence, and the men don't carry the evidence. Just like the men don't have a choice over what she chooses to do with the baby while she's pregnant. She can either abort the baby or do whatever she wants with the baby. So you're always going to have all that pros and cons, and you're always going to have that side where it's from the women's side and it's from the men's side. But at the end of the day, advice I would give to any man is that you're responsible for where you stick. You're responsible for whatever you stick your penis in. Just because you can doesn't mean you have to. And the same thing go for the women. You are responsible for who you let inside your world. You are responsible for who you let inside of you. And whatever the consequence is, it is what it is. But a lot of things, one thing that I like to note is that sometimes during that moment, a lot of women can't think of the outcome. They can't think of the consequences afterward, because they in the moment right now, that's all that they see. They don't see beyond that. And then it's still the man responsible to think beyond the good time, beyond the 30-minute good time. Because there's all the shit behind the mountain that you have to log into. But you decided to come inside of it, well, then you're stuck with the responsibility. Because at the end of the day, you release just to release. And she is not in the same mindset that you are in while you and her are together in that bed at the time. Her mind and your mind is completely two different things. She might be thinking pleasure, but he just want to release. And then release come with a consequence. And you know if you release, there's all this bullshit that you may have to deal with. So it's a choice. A 30-minute good time, an hour good time versus the rest of your life putting up with bullshit that you have no control over, absolutely no control over. But at the same time for her, within that 30-minute good time, a lot of them just can't think beyond that time. And she's still responsible, because after that 30-minute good time, you still owe it to yourself to know the consequence of your decision. And you still carry the evidence, and you still have to live with the consequence. Yeah, that's the world that we're living in. And there's a lot of shit like that going on around the world. But it's funny. A lot of people use it as entertainment. It's just crazy entertainment. But hey, life goes on, right? Life goes on. At the end of the day, we're all responsible for the decision that we make, and we're all responsible for whatever we stick our fingers in. That's it. Bye.